Alright, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular the AWD 1111.NET Framework with Web Databases class, I've been creating a series of video presentations based on the book we're going to be using for this class for the fall 2019 semester. As you can see on your screen right here, the book is Pro ASP.NET MVC 5 by Adam Freeman and A-Press Text. And I'm in Chapter 11 of 27. And where I left off was the author saying that we want to implement a list view. Now he says that I have the new layout. I can add a view to the project for the action, index action for the admin controller. Notice again, even though I'm not a fan of the Visual Studio scaffolding, and all scaffolding is Visual Studio actually provides some of the code for you. It's more templates of the code, because of course everyone's going to implement the thing in the code in a different manner. So we want to right click on Views Admin folder. Choose Add View from the menu. Set the view name to index and select the list for the template option. Now this is different from what we've done before. Alright, we haven't listed a list, no pun intended. This is where I usually select one of the empty options. We want to select Product for the model class. Check the option to use a layout page and select the underscore admin layout from here, because otherwise it doesn't know which one to choose. So we've got here under Views Shared, our admin layout CSHTML. Click OK and it should say that. It does. The picture right now that you see here should be the same picture as the one that is in your textbook here in Figure 11.2 on the bottom of page 278. In fact, I want to move this over, and then I'm going to see if I can bring the other one up. All right. Index, list, product, sports score, domain entities. This is empty. Use the layout view, view shared, underscore admin layout. Looks good to me. All right, so with all of that set, we're going to click Add. The author says here on the top of the next page, when using the list scaffold, Visual Studio assumes that you are working with an IEnumerable sequence. So you can just select the singular form of the class from the list. Okay, so we click the Add button to create this. The author says that he has formatted the markup so that it doesn't require as much space. So he moved some stuff, basically put some stuff together, for lack of better words. All right. Visual Studio looks at the type of view model object and generates elements in a table that correspond to the properties defined on the model type. We can see how the view is rendered by starting the application and navigating over to the admin index URL. So let's do a file, save as. Sorry, save all. Let's go over to the admin. Let's right mouse click and choose view in browser and see if it looks the way it does in the text on the top of page 280. Now the author mentions on page 280 that the scaffolded view makes a reasonable attempt at setting up a sensible baseline for the view. There are columns for each of the properties in the product class and links for other CRUD operations that target actions for the admin controller. All right, not sure why this is taking so long to load, but it is. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds, and if it doesn't come up and load, I'm going to stop it and start it again, because sometimes that kind of, there we go. I was going to say kicks it in the butt, so to speak. Okay. The author says here, the scaffolding is clever, but the views that it generates are bland and so general that they're almost worthless. Now, that's not true. All right. But they are bland. That part's true. Now, notice I can go to Kayak, and right now, it's not allowing me to edit because I haven't created that yet. It's not showing me details. Same reason. Not showing me delete for the same reason. All right, so none of these yet exist, I believe, which is probably why I'm getting the errors that I'm getting. And that's okay, because I believe that'll be the rest of the chapter. All right. We want to edit the index.cshtml file. So let's stop the run. And let's go back to the file. And let's go to the beginning. We want the model enumerable, the title, the layout. Notice in the layout, we're telling it which layout we want to use in this case. So they wanted us to edit the file so that it corresponds to what is on pages 280 and 281. Looks very similar to it to me now, but just to be sure, I'm going to go back here and onto, let's see. So I'm going to grab this. Again, this is the index.cshtml file. I believe that's exactly the same. Oops. Try that again. Again, this is very incomplete now because we have to add the information that's in our text on page 281, and as always, I like to shrink that down so you can see all of it as I'm creating it or copying it. I'm not creating it. All right. This view presents the information in a more compact form, omitting some of the properties from the product class and using Bootstrap to apply some styling. What we should see then is if we save this, so save all, and we run this again, so we run our index page and view it in the browser, ideally at least. There we go. It looks a little bit nicer here. All right. It says, now I have a nice list page. The administrator can see the products in the catalog, and there are links or buttons to add, delete, and inspect items. In the following sections, we're going to add the functionality to support these actions. All right, I'm looking ahead here, and the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to allow for you to edit products. Again, this looks like it's going to be fairly substantial. Now, again, doesn't work because we haven't put it in yet. Here, doesn't work because we haven't put it in yet. So these are all hyperlinked for all of our products. Okay, and we haven't done a create yet. But what we will do is when I come back in the next lesson is we will begin on the edit part of our operations.